my YouTube channel. This is A Life of a March. So today is a pretty serious conversation, and it's one that's very important to me. So I guess I should say viewer discretion advised for any males watching this video. Some of the things I might say could be cringeworthy, but I promise they are worth listening to because they are very important. And also for any children, you might want to go watch some cartoons, okay? So anyway, so the month of January for many of you is just another month. The month of January for me is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. And I felt like this would be the perfect time to share my story so that I can hopefully help someone else that is in my shoes. So just a quick flashback for all of those who have not watched my introduction video. Back in 2014, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. The way it took place was just a normal PAPS. You know, we all have to schedule our annuals. I went in for my PAPS and I went home. Nothing major. About 48 hours later, I received a phone call while at work, and it was my doctor's nurse telling me, hey, we need to get you a follow-up appointment ASAP. Now at this point, as I have stated in many of my videos, I suffer from extreme anxiety. So you can only imagine what happened at work. I freaked out. I ended up leaving early. Sorry, gotta go. But yeah, so they scheduled my appointment immediately. I think I went like 2 days later. And we went in, she sat me down, and she basically said, hey, your PAPS came back abnormal. We want to do a follow-up test. And this time we are going to do, I don't know the name of the procedure, but some of you ladies may have had it. It's where they put the scope in and they like blow the cold air to like freeze your cells, and then they pluck some to send to the lab. So that's what they did. If you have not had that procedure, it's very uncomfortable. I'm going to be totally honest with you, not a good feeling, but gotta do what you gotta do. So we did that, and basically they let me know again. They'll call me back with the results once we get them. Fast forward, so probably within that same week, I think, I don't know exactly how many days, I got another phone call saying, hey, we need you to come back in. So once again, my anxiety is all over the place because just like the first time, you weren't calling me to say anything good. Anytime you get called back in, it's a problem. So I'm like, okay, yeah, let's schedule the appointment. Got me back in immediately, and that's when they sat me down and said, hey, from your results, you have just entered the first stages of cervical cancer. Now, there's always positives and negatives. Now, the positive is that we caught it early, therefore it can be handled. The negative is that you're going to need surgery, and you're going to need it immediately. So within 2 weeks, I went into surgery to receive a procedure called a cold knife cone biopsy. You can Google it if you want any further details on that. Basically, it's a procedure where they go into your cervix, and the area where they found the cancer, they will cut a cone shape out of it to try to remove just those cells. And that is what we did. The surgery was successful. And she let me know that, you know, just be grateful that we caught it when we did, because a lot of people don't. Now, unfortunately, that led up to her sending my results over to the Cancer Institute here. And I had to do a follow-up appointment at the cancer center. So when I went over there, he did another exam, and they did, you know, further tests and looked into the actual cells that they removed. And that is when we were informed that, unfortunately, yes, they removed it, but the type of cancer that it was reoccurring, meaning that it is going to eventually return, and we don't know when, we don't know how, and we don't know how aggressive it's going to be, but unfortunately they felt it was going to be aggressive. So their recommendation was a hysterectomy. Now, as far as a hysterectomy, you have to think I was very young. I was like 26, 27 when this took place. So for me, that means no more kids. And unfortunately, I really wanted kids. You know, I wanted more kids. And so their thing was, okay, you know, you may have some time, but we recommend if you're going to have any more, have them now. Like, you need to hurry up and do it before you can't have any more. Now, at the time, we were not prepared to have another child. So it was not something me and my husband wanted to rush into, but the following year, surprise, I actually did end up pregnant. and unfortunately I lost it at 2 months. So at 2 months I suffered a miscarriage. Very devastating time, very depressing moment for me, but I got through it just as I get through everything else. And time went on, and we were just like, we were going to get ourselves in a better position to have another baby, but we need to make sure we have everything around us, in order. Now, did that happen? No. I ended up pregnant down the line, further down the line, and it was bittersweet. I was super, super excited to be having a baby. I was super excited I was able to have another one before the hysterectomy, but I still had the mind frame that the cancer could return while I'm pregnant, and it could take both of us, me and the baby. So that was a nerve-wracking pregnancy for me. I was immediately placed on bed rest simply because with a cold knife cone biopsy, which was the procedure that I had, they take a portion of your cervix, meaning your cervix becomes very weak. So I was, automatically put on bed rest and told that there's a possible that I'm going to have an early term. I'm not going to make the full 9 months with him. So I just need to be as careful as possible. And we also just need to pray that the cancer does not return while I am pregnant. Now, on top of that, of course, my husband left. And it was all over the place, like a lot of stress that came with it. So at the time, I ended up going into early term anyway, just based off of stress and depression and the different things that I was going through on top of my nerve-wracking nerves of the cancer. So I had him a month early. He was my Christmas baby, but I am so happy. I'm so grateful. He is my little angel, my little pooger wooder, and I love him. I don't regret a thing. After having him, I was told that I did need to have the hysterectomy 6 months after birth. They didn't want to do it right after birth because that's like a major procedure to do right after having a baby. So what we did was we pushed it back 6 months. So once my baby turned 6 months, I scheduled my hysterectomy, and that was a success. Very grateful. I am very, very grateful for that. Okay, I don't like to talk about it, but because it's like an emotional thing for me, but everything happens for a reason. I got through it. God got me. When I say he got me all the way around, he got me all the way around. So my baby's here. My hysterectomy was a success. And I'm going to say this, something that my doctor said to me after the surgery that I will never forget, because she knew everything I was going through. She knew I was already a wreck from my separation. And she sat me down and she said, let me tell you something. We not going to stress about that. Let him go. Let him do what he want to do. Because at the end of the day, and her exact words was, screw him. You beat cervical cancer. You are a survivor. And of course, I boo-hoo like a little baby, and I don't want to do it now, but I boo-hoo like a little baby. And she was right. Like, she was right. I am a survivor. I am a proud survivor at that. And no matter what was thrown my way in the process, I got through it all. And for that is kind of, like I said, a part of the purpose for my YouTube channel is to share my story in hopes that it will help somebody else. Now, the only last bad thing about it is, yes, I have had a successful hysterectomy, but once again, with the hysterectomy, that means no more kids. I honestly wanted at least one more. I wanted to try for a girl, but I just feel like I am thankful for the 2 that I have. I'm a true boy mom. That is what I am meant to have, apparently. And I cannot have any more, though. So it's bittersweet. I am here to be a mother to my kids that I have, but I did want to possibly have another one in the future. And then it's even more sucky because, the husband that I had, where we would have been able to do this, go through this together. If I meet somebody else and they want kids and I can't give it to them, that's heartbreaking for me as well. So, but hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm going to, stay positive and hopes that I meet someone who loves me anyway. So now that you know my story, I would like everybody who is watching this video to know that cervical cancer is real. Most of the time, there are no signs and symptoms. In my case, I had none. All I had was an abnormal pap. So if I would not have gone to get my annual like I always do, there would be a chance that I would not be here to make this video. So for that, I want to have a challenge. I want to make a challenge. I want everybody watching this video, whether male or female, to create a text message and send that text message to all of your loved ones, moms, daughters, nieces, aunts, sisters, everybody, spouses, for the men watching, your spouse. Send a text message to all of them, all of the ladies in your life, and just ask one simple question: have you had your annual? And if not, schedule it. I love you. You can end it just like that, because I'm sure asking them something, sending them type of text, they gonna probably be like, you in my business? Like, don't do that. But just say it, because it's very important. And a lot of women don't go get their annual like they should. Prime example, I had a conversation with a coworker in the midst of me having my discovery of my cervical cancer, and her response was, girl, I had an abnormal paps a while ago too. I just never went back. And I'm like, why? And I get it. I don't judge anyone. Hearing that type of news is scary. So a lot of people avoid it to get any further bad news. But don't be scared. Be happy that they found it when they found it, because it could be prevented. Like I said, there's no signs or symptoms. So I came up with something on my own after my surgery. When I started promoting it to everybody, was the only protection is early detection. And that's just what it is. So by all means, like I say, if you have not had your annual this year, it is the beginning of the year, go ahead and schedule it, or put it in your phone, put it in your calendar, set an alarm so that you can make sure you get your annual, so that we can make sure we have no cervical cancer or any other cancers for that matter. I really hope that this video helps someone. Other than that, I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. God has brought me so far, and he has so much further to take me. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I hope once again that this video really helps someone. Forward it, share it to all your friends, so that we can make sure we stick together as ladies and we protect each other. So yeah, I'm not going to talk your heads off any further. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, quick thumbs up, and leave me some comments down in the comment section. Let me know if you've had this experience. I pray that it went as well as mine. Let me know if you do decide to do the challenge. Let me know if you sent all your loved ones just a quick message checking on them. And yeah, tune in to my next video. I'm going to continue to share my journey. I'm going to continue to share my testimony, and hope that my story will help someone else. I'm going to go. Hope you guys have a good day. This is Life of the Mind.